Hello and welcome to the second session of Masks Band on the Run. Masks, a New Generation is a PBTA game of teen superheroes. And for our particular setting, we've kind of tweaked that a little. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar, which is an online gaming club / community. And you can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. So we have one player down. Unfortunately, Guppy, our outsider, our transformed mascot, is not with us today. But we will soldier on. We're going to be checking in with everybody about the character choices they've made. Everyone's going to have an advance from last time to this time. The other thing I want to mention is just quickly. Want to remind us what our lines and veils are for play. Again, we have lines on sexual assault, slavery, suicide, torture by the PCs, and identical twins. And then we have veils on dental horror and sexual content. We also ask first for childhood abandonment, epidemics, and harm to children. And again, we also have the X card and the open door policy in play. Let me copy that link and get that to you, Andrew, so we can get you into there. Paste. There we go. So as I mentioned, it's a slightly different setup. This is a world where the event happened just a few months ago, in which 90% of superpowered beings, adults, vanished, leaving behind a world with 10% of some adult superpowered beings and anyone essentially of teen or below. And in this world, the reaction of the governments and populace has been to crack down on superheroes, and especially as an easy target, cracking down on teen supers. And in our version of Halcyon City, in fact, there have been some Aegis teams that have been out capturing super teens. And last time, our group kind of on the run fought a couple of supervillains, and then Aegis arrived and ignored the supervillains and tried to capture the team. So they have decided that they are going to try and stage a breakout from the Aegis HQ to try and rescue at least the couple of teens they know have been captured, maybe more. It's uncertain right now. So that is where we're going to be taking up today. But let's go through and check in with everyone. Carmen, what did you choose as your advance?
I had not marked one down yet, but I was leaning towards, let's see, what's the name of it? Punch Everyone, the bull move.
That is a classic one, a solid one. And then Bet, what did you end up choosing?
Straight up creeping.
Okay, that's another great one, and effective and appropriate for today. And then Black Hood, I know you were talking about taking the bonus to labels. Is that what you want to do or something else?
Yeah, I'm taking a +2 to Savior, which is the label that my mentor denies.
Interesting. So that sets us up for today. We are in the Black Hood's maybe not sophisticated hideout, but certainly hideout in these two fused together shipping containers. Black Hood has called his sorry, actually, let me check here. Her mentor to see about things, and he did not did not help. In fact, kind of shut you down. So I want to start with a quick check-in. Let me do a little bit of something, and then we'll kind of get to the group talking about how they want to approach. Carmen, I think that there is definitely, when you kind of look at your phone at this point, there are probably a couple of calls and texts from effectively your guardian, right? Is that how we call her? She's clearly called a couple of times in the last hour. Do you call her back, or
how much downtime do we have before we're heading in?
what did Black Hood and Bet think?
Couple hours.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So you will call her up, and she's like, "Where are you? Are you okay?"
I'm fine. I'm fine, Jackie. I'm with some friends.
It was just on the news. There was a fire at the mall. There was some sort of battle with villains and rogue heroes, and I knew that you were downtown, and everything.
I heard the sirens. Everything's fine. I'm fine.
Maybe, I don't like to. I don't like to press you, but maybe you should come home where it's safe.
I'll try to make it back home, but I need to help out my friends with a thing.
Well, maybe you could bring them.
I'll see if they want to. They might need to get to somewhere else, but
where are you right now?
I'm somewhere downtown. It's one of my friends' places. It's safe for now.
All right, I'm not going to pry any further. I know you like your privacy. I'm just a little worried, and I know I just don't want anything to happen to you.
I know. I thank you for calling. I'll make it back safe. Don't worry.
And she's I know that you've had a hard time, and I want to help you fit into the real world, into life. And I think she is pushing up your mundane and pushing down your freak a little. Like, she's clearly like talking like, really want to do this. Do you want to accept that? Or do you want to reject that? Okay.
Yeah, she'll accept that.
And how do you, what's that response sound like or look like?
That she tells Jackie that, like, that I want a place where I fit into. I know you're trying to help me out, and you've made me feel really safe and welcome here. And
so I did get a pizza. It's in the fridge when you get back. So just, and if you're going to be out late,
is
give
it
me a call.
Mushrooms and peppers like usual?
Yeah, you seem to like that.
Yeah. I'll give you a call if I'm going to be late, or when I know when I'm getting back, or if I'm bringing friends over.
Okay, be safe.
Yeah, thanks.
And I imagine, Bet, that your dad has called you a couple of times, and maybe this is the first time you've also realized that he's been calling in.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, what is going on?
Oh, what do you mean? Just getting lunch.
I'm seeing stuff that you were fighting with Aegis.
Oh, yeah, I got this really cool gear though.
Well, that's not important. Like, why are you fighting with Aegis? Like, I said it was cool for you to continue heroing after much to my, at this point, regret. But fighting with Aegis was not part of this.
Dad, I was with my friends.
And
how am I ever going to make any friends here if you don't let me hang out with these guys?
I'm not saying don't hang out with your friends. I'm just like there's a alert and your pictures on the television, and they are Aegis has issued a bulletin for you.
Dad, when you came to Halcyon City, we talked about this. This is Halcyon City. This kind of stuff happens. This is not cool. You can't control me.
Look, you are behaving rashly, and I think that you have a lot of power. I mean, you gained a lot of power, maybe don't have a lot of experience. I know a little bit better than you do about things, and I want you to come home right now. And he is pushing your danger up, and I think your savior down.
Yeah, look, Dad, if I come home, they're just, they did it to us. We were just at the mall. They jumped us. If I come home, they're just going to capture me. Do you want me to end up going to their headquarters in cuffs?
Look, you come here, and if they were to come for you, then we call a lawyer and we get that. But right now, you can't be out in the wind like this.
Dad, I can't talk right now. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Hang on.
So are you shifting those labels, or are you
Yeah,
gonna, okay?
I mean, can you just so you're shifting them because he's
pushing on your image. So he's talking about you being a little bit dangerous,
right,
and
right,
not as much a hero. So those are the shifts that they do.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, there is that click. Black Hood, what is your reaction or your feeling when you see Carmen and Bet kind of interacting with their parental figures? Not a mentor, not a trainer, not a taskmaster, but parents.
Well, I think we established that I've had some foster parents, at least at some point.
A couple of times you mentioned, yeah.
Yeah. And I think since I just hear the one side of the interaction,
Mm-hmm.
I think it feels similar to me, like these parents and guardians. They're to me it seems like they're just trying to push Carmen and Beth or Oshin. Like they're trying to mold them and limit them the way I felt like my foster parents did to me. So I mean, I'm underneath that. There's a bit of jealousy because I know they're doing it because they care, but I think that's not really at a conscious level. That's just simmering underneath. But they're all the same. They're just like the Reaper. All the parents are just like him. They're just trying to make us be just like them. But we know what we need to do, and we can do it.
I like that. So I imagine there's something of a montage of you getting your equipment and things together, and the group getting ready. Uh, I think I'm going to kind of do a wipe cut. And we're going to find you at the downtown area that has the Aegis secure location. Black Hood, tell me something about this facility. When we see it from the street, it's not a particularly big one. So what kind of building is it?
Think it looks like a concrete box. I mean, it has windows and that sort of thing, but I think Aegis, they're used to to their headquarters getting trashed by villains and sometimes heroes. So they don't spend any effort on making them look fancy or anything. It's very utilitarian and cheap to rebuild.
Carmen, big concrete bunker building kind of there. There probably is a motor pool area where agents can come in and unload. But when you're looking at this, what's the most unusual feature either of the building or the surrounding area?
I think there's a more modern looking fountain outside to try to make the building look less inhospitable and imposing. But
A little bit of decoration. They've got the Aegis logo and kind of a new hip. They just put a new logo out for this year. They've got a new fountain out there. They're trying to soften their image. Bet, what's the unusual piece of security that you see around in this area?
Yeah, there is, it's very surprising, but Aegis has gotten really bold. And right out of the middle of it, it's maybe the whole building is a little bit pentagon-y, and right out of the middle of it is an enormous set of guns, one each pointing each of the different compass directions.
It's low enough to the roof that you really can't see it from the street level. When you're, especially when you're by the fountain, and it all looks sunshiny, but from the above ground, you can see this gun. And you see some Aegis agents coming and going. You know that some of them are out dealing with situations. So, Bet, I think you have this new move that is applicable, and why don't we start with that one?
Let's do it straight up creeping, just
Okay.
pulling the roller up.
Yeah.
Okay, so plus mundanes, I'm rolling 2d6. And then I just add the +2 for mundane.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, that looks like a 9. So then add 2, I got 11, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the result on 11 for you?
Okay, so we're trying to, the questions I can ask are, what's my best way in and out? What happened here recently? What here is worth grabbing? Who or what here is not what they seem? Whose place is this? I think we want to know what's my best way in and out is one question. And should I come up with the second one, or can I hold that until?
Yeah, let's hold that until I answer. So I think, you know, you're looking around this place. You have extraordinary senses, and I do think that maybe you can kind of reach out and feel. And surprisingly, it's actually that roof access, because they had to do some cut-ins and construction and things to add these turrets up there, and it's structurally weaker than the other places. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Yeah, that seems great. And Bet selfishly wants to know what's worth grabbing, but I think given the severity of this, he might want to know who or what here is not what they seem, to try to find an advantage somehow. Maybe he will take inspiration from the answer and try to help use it as a disguise. He's not really sure why he's thinking this.
I think that in the time that you've been here, you've been kind of watching, and you've seen a person who has gone around and come back a couple of times. And at first you're like, okay, well, that must be like a plainclothes watch person from Aegis. But you need to realize that in fact, actually, they seem to be like casing the building. They're kind of down on the street level. They're moving around. They're not doing a great job, but they clearly they changed their hat, and they turned their jacket inside and out, and that kind of real basic James Bondy stuff. Black Hood, what are you doing as up on the roofs? Bet is kind of checking things out. What are you thinking? What are you doing here?
Ooh. Think I'm watching for. I think I'm keeping watch, trying to make sure no one sneaks up on us. Not Aegis and none of the other, no other heroes or villains who might be here for some reason.
Absolutely. I think that you can tell that the Aegis is less focused right now on watching and defending this location than they are on getting their teams out. It's a little strange. Like, they are very active in their pursuits. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And Carmen, what about you?
I think she's probably up on the rooftop, maybe with Black Hood. She has some earbuds in, listening to some anarchist punk music to try to get psyched up to fight Aegis. And she's looking around a bit too.
Do you want to try to assess the situation?
Sure.
Okay. We'll have you roll superior.
All right. That is +1. $12.
Look at that. So you get 2 questions and a +1 acting on the answers.
All right, let me see what the questions are. Let's see. Maybe who here is most vulnerable to me?
I think right now it does look like there are some Aegis staffers that are out, like out back in the kind of motor pool area, who are moving some things around. These are not armed agents, and certainly would be vulnerable to you. Does that sound like a fair answer?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's your second question?
I think I'm going to go with how could we best end this quickly, for sort of maybe a quickest option to get in or something.
You think, I mean, you know
out.
that you can go in through the roof via
Yeah, I guess
Bet's
maybe
reading.
quickest out.
I think one of the things you will realize is that how do I put this? That you could conceivably draw more people out into that sort of back area. There are a couple of transports there, including like an armored transport. And if something were to happen there, it would certainly draw attention. The agents would probably, essentially head out the back to try and lock down what was going on.
That's good.
So the scene comes back. The three of you up on this rooftop watching this. What's the conversation now? Bet?
Yeah. Yeah, so Carmen, that sounds great. You want to provoke them back there, or you want me to, while everybody else runs in and grabs the dudes? Oh wait, there's this guy outside. Maybe he'll. What do you think? Do you think he's an ally? Guy casing the joint.
I mean, I doubt he's somebody just looking to steal some office supplies or guns, but never know.
Black Hood, do you want to talk to him? I'm trying to think who we'd respond to the best.
Yeah, I could go down, check out who that is. I think we should go in all together though. Like maybe you could you get your arrows, right? You could maybe set fire to something out there, and we all go in through the roof. Think that would work?
Yeah, I can just I can distract him and then leap back over the roof and catch up with you guys.
Yeah, certainly.
So-
Carmen has enough strength to punch through and get through the roof area. So Black Hood, do you want to go down and confront this person who is casing the area?
Yeah, I think I'll do that while the others like get set up and get into position.
All right. I would like you. Oh, no, let's not do that. I think you'll land and kind of get in a position to watch. And you will realize that it is another teen like yourself. What is the name of this teen hero?
Ooh. Blinders.
Blinders. Okay. And Blinders is there, and they are clearly like anxiously watching, checking out the area, like maybe like yourselves looking for a way in. What do you
Yeah,
want to
I think I try to do the like, as I have stealth among my abilities, I try to do the like Batman thing of just appearing behind them and like tapping him on the shoulder, or her. I don't know.
I'm going to use they them for this character. I think that they like startle and they turn around, and of course their first thing is Gravedigger. Oh wait, no. Oh, they're like, what? You're not taking me in.
Oh no, quite the opposite. We're here to bust our friends out. You want in?
Yes. How many of you are there?
It's me, Beth, and Carmen.
What do you want? What do you want me to do?
Do I know anything about blinders other than their name?
Carmen, what is Blinder's powers?
I think they can create darkness in a small area.
Okay. So
Yeah, we're we're going to draw people out into the, like, you see the parking lot there. So if you could put some darkness there when they show up.
And they're like, oh, yeah, I can do that. Absolutely.
Yes. Just don't get caught, right?
No, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. You don't tell me what to do. I know how to do this. I mean, I've been at this. Yeah, okay.
Like, I
And
mean it. Be careful.
and they will kind of pull their hoodie up and start to move over to the area. I put a picture for them. They're kind of a goth character there. And they will move into position, and Bet, it seems like this all kicks off with you unleashing your powers to create this distraction, right?
Yep. And Bet's really excited to use this new net gun that he got.
Okay. Let us also set, so you are taking on a foe, which is the Aegis. So we start the session with the team in the team pool. We're going to add 2 more, so that takes us to 3. Black Hood, do you have influence over Carmen and Bet?
I believe I do. I think I have influence over everyone. Yeah, I do.
Okay. So that goes to 4. Everyone has the same purpose in the fight. So 5. So you're actually at 5 team in the team pool.
And you included the 2 from the celebration last time, right?
Oh, we'll add that. So you're at 17 in the team pool. That is a wild amount of team. That may be the most team I've seen in the team pool ever. So with that, there's almost no chance you could fail. Let's have you roll freak, Bet.
So the first time I used my gear using no powers and not nearly enough training, I could use mundane.
Oh, nice.
Which is much better than freak. So here we go. I got a 7, and then I add my 2 mundane, so I got a 9.
Mm-hmm.
If I use a team, I can get up to 10, right?
Who would help you with this?
So now is blinders part of the team, or
they are not part of the team. They are a an NPC for me to put into peril later.
That's right. So who wants to? I'm trying to think who would help out. Black Hood, you've got a lot of gadgets, and Carmen, you know, you could like throw me in the air while I'm doing this or something so that I get a better angle. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I think I can have like a fancy binoculars or something with a rangefinder and that sort of thing.
Perfect. So that will take it to a 10. So what happens? What do we see happen back there?
Yeah, so I think I'm actually trying to do it from the top of the roof if possible to be as efficient as. So especially now that he's giving me, so Black Hood hands Bet these binoculars, and they like toggle out way further than you'd expect, and he's looking around thinking this is so cool, and finally he focuses and he shoots the net, and it just goes perfectly around around the heads of 3 of the people in the back with the cars, and it then does this cool trick where it like snaps closed, and so their necks all snap closed, and they're all like, they look like a giant octopus of limbs coming out of this netted creature.
Crash to the ground, and almost immediately all of the lights go out, pitch black there, and people are shouting because there are a couple of people that aren't netted, and you know, you hear you know, the call for backup, motor pool. Carmen, you're on the roof here. Like how are you busting through? Are you punching? Are you tearing? Are you doing something else?
Is there anything loose that she can use to hit the roof with up here?
Like what?
I don't know. If there's some HVAC machinery she can pull up and
Absolutely.
hit it with.
Yeah, there's a one of those loose units there. You can wrench that off, and you're just going to kind of slam it in.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we do this with Unleash Your Powers, or do you have a move for this?
I think that's just unleash your
Okay.
powers because yeah, I'm not directly engaging a threat. So
Let's have you roll Freak.
all right. I think that's 0. So 5.
So that is a 5. So I think that you smash that through, and it will crash into the next thing. Now, you do have 2 allies with you, and you still have 6 team in the team pool. So conceivably, if they wanted to assist with this, if both of them helped, you could get that to a 7. But otherwise, that's fine. What does the team think?
Let's spend it while we got it.
Yeah.
So Bet, how do you help as Carmen lifts up this and kind of gets the thing to smash down? What are you doing to assist?
I think Carmen smashes it down and Bet does a flip and lands on top of it to give it a little bit of extra oomph.
Okay. And how are you helping, Black Hood?
Think I've taken those fancy binoculars back, and I think they've got like not full X-ray, but they've got like some sort of scanning, so I can see where the weak point is, so I can direct Carmen to hit it there.
So Carmen, do you want to mark a condition, or do you want to have this breach be unstable or temporary?
Let's see. I'll do a condition.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with insecure.
Okay. So it crashes through. You can get down into this next level, and now there's the running through the Aegis facility, trying to find your way to this. So this is a little bit of a kind of an in the labyrinth move. Black Hood, what do you want to use to roll this? What do you think is the thing, the label that is kind of driving you as you're leading the group, kind of trying to find your way through this place?
Well, it's a bit cheesy since I just raised my savior, but I think that's what's driving me right now.
Okay.
Because I want to save our friends in here, and I kind of want to prove Reaper wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not about saving people; he's about dishing out the punishment. But I want to show him that I can do something that he can't do.
Let's have you roll then.
So this isn't something where insecure is a problem, right?
No.
Good. So that's a 9.
That is a 9. So you have a choice. You can find something else than what you're looking for, or you can find what you're looking for and be put in a bad position.
I'll take the bad position.
Okay.
I want to find them.
So there is the thing where you're kind of looking for the corridors, the security things, kicking through doors, making your way down as quickly as you can. And you will find yourselves in a like a holding level. And you will see that there are a couple of prisoners there in what are essentially power dampening bracers that are holding them in position. And I think you all have kind of made your way down there and just need to get past this door to get to them. And I think that's when you hear, yes. And you see this figure come out of one of the side corridors, crackling with energy, and you see Yes Man there. And he's like, I thought that you punks would try to sneak in. Well, I'm going to teach you a lesson about superheroing. And it kind of raises his glowing fists there. And what do you want to do, Carmen?
She's gonna charge at him and try to barrel him back through the door he came in.
Okay. So this is directly engage?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's have you roll. He's just getting his fists up as you go rushing at him.
All right. 6 plus 1. 8.
8. So you get to pick one from directly engage the threat as you smash into him.
Gonna go with create an opportunity.
All right. So his response is he kind of takes that condition. First of all, you're going to mark a condition. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let's actually have you roll take a powerful blow. I think that's more interesting in this situation, because what he does is essentially when you knock him back, like he goes flying and he kind of gets up and he grabs you and throws you and cracks the floor and throws you down into the next level.
All right, so I rolled 2d6 plus.
How many conditions do you have marked?
I have 1.
Then just roll +1.
All right. 3.
You are
The
fine.
worst possible. All right. Okay.
Yeah, that's the best possible. That is absolutely the best possible on this roll. You want low. The good news is you also get to mark potential because you were so awesome. So I think he throws you through this floor and it doesn't even register with you. But he's looking down at you and he's like maybe a little bit shocked that you took that. What do you do, Bet? He's kind of got his back to you right now. You could try to get in. His attention is occupied, or you could try and hit him right now. What do you want to do?
Sorry, when you say get in, you mean get in?
Get into the holding facility.
Right, in order to free the prisoners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to free the prisoners.
Okay. So
is it when Black Hood got to roll the, what was it, savior? That's because he's the team lead, right?
Yeah.
That's because she's the team lead. Got it.
Yeah.
I had this fantasy of Oshin was trying to grab a uniform and like wear it over his costume and look very obvious and just walk in and but I'm assuming that's out of the question.
It is a little loud right now. So the obstacle right now you have is this secure locked door. How do you want to deal with that?
Yeah. So there's we made it to the door and we see that they're in there, but we're not actually in the room yet.
Right. Yeah, you can see them in there. Yes, man is intercepted.
Okay.
But
well,
he's off to the side.
I mean, Bet thinks that Bull is the one who that Carmen's the one who needs to knock this door down. So I think sorry, I misunderstood. I think Bet is actually going to try to. Bet wants to help Carmen.
Okay.
There is no way to help her because he's in between us. So I assume it's a question of
you could comfort and support at this point if you wanted to.
Right. And comfort and support would just straight up help her for her next role.
They can mark potential, they can clear a condition, or they can shift labels if they respond positively. If you essentially are shouting encouragement to them.
Yeah. He's going to. Is there a way that I could get up somewhere high out of the reach of Yes Man, or not necessarily?
Oh, you're in an office level. Don't have much in terms of maybe you've got 12 feet.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So enough thinking. He's going to try to knock this guy into the pit that he created for Carmen.
Okay. So is your intention more to do harm to him or to put him out of position?
Put him out of position so that Carmen can come out.
Then that is unleash your powers.
Alrighty. So this time I am going to roll freak.
Okay.
And Fingers crossed. So I've got a -1 on this. So I got a 9, so -1 is going to be 8.
Okay. Do you want to mark a condition? And he'll only temporarily be out of there, and be out of there for a while, or do you want to just let him be down for a round?
I want him to be out for a while. So
Okay.
I'm good. I'm going to mark a condition.
What are you marking?
Insecure.
Okay. So you hit him. Is this with one of your arrows?
Yeah, good question. I was thinking that I was going to do a flip kick. So I was basically
Okay.
going to jump at him and then kick him so he falls into the pit, and then do a flip back so I land on my feet.
Okay. Yeah. And I think he is powering up with that crackle of electricity or energy that's around him. And when you hit him, he actually is in the middle of charging up, and he will kind of fly past Carmen through that floor down into a sub basement. And you hear the kind of crash as he smashes. Like, it's clearly like the sub basement might actually have like some kind of underground, like tall facility, and he certainly falls a while before you hear the sound of him hitting. Black Hood, you've got this opportunity that Carmen and Bet have set up for you, and you've got this door.
Yeah. I'm going to pick up some sort of like a clamp I put right over the lock, and has a
Okay,
laser cutter that goes around it and just cuts everything out.
perfect. Unleash your powers for using your gadgets there.
Yeah, that's free. Right?
That is freak.
That's a 0. And I roll a 9.
Roll a 9. Look at you. So do you want to mark a condition?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I mean, because we have to get them out of there.
absolutely.
So
What are you
yeah.
marking?
I'm marking angry, I think. I don't like my friends being locked up. Yeah.
So yeah, you get this door open, and you manage to do it in a way that doesn't immediately trip like a major alarm to draw the guards back. Get this open, and you can go in and grab these two. Carmen, you can easily get back up to the floor you were at. You got a little bit of time. You see that Black Hood has grabbed the hammer and flash mob. And how are you all planning on getting out of here?
Um, we're like on the bottom level, right?
Yeah, you're like on the ground floor.
Is there another entrance other than the front and the motor pool one?
Those seem to be the two. It's a very simple bunker style building.
Or probably too sturdy to punch a new way out.
You're an awesome superhero. Do you want to try and punch a new way out?
Sure.
Okay. So this is you unleashing your powers. This is your, what does that look like? Like, you probably have to power up a little. What do we see on panel?
We see her sort of scoping out the like exterior wall or whatever she's gonna punch through, getting a little bit, distance to run up to it. And then she's gonna barrel at it shoulder first.
Absolutely. Let's have you roll unleash your powers.
Four.
That is a 4. So you will smash out with these others in tow, smash out onto the street, and the others following. Right now, you haven't been able to like you can take time to get these cuffs off of these two. You get out into the street, and you can see from the angle you've come out, you can see into the motor pool, and you can see that they have captured blinders. The good news is you get to mark potential. Let's take our first break here. Take 10. We'll come back and we'll check in with Bat and Black Hood about what they want to do. There are some agents out there. They've got some secure transport. Yes Man is still possibly coming back on the scene. And this person who helped you has not been as careful as you told them to be. So that's what we will take up. Okay. Okay, so let's frame up the situation we see on panel right now. The group has smashed out through the sidewall of this building. They're cut out in the street. There's some cars around a little bit over at the back side of the building, which is an angle you can see at past the like chain link fence. You can see there's a couple of these secure vehicles. There's some agents. Somebody's trying to cut some of these agents out of a netting thing. There are some tactical officers with their equipment, and they have blinders down, and they've slapped kind of a keep them out patch onto them to try and negate their powers. Black Hood, you've dragged with you right now Flash Mob and the Hammer. They are still locked up with those gears. And back in the building and down a couple of levels, Yes Man is getting up and brushing off his suit and getting ready to come back in hot pursuit of the three of you. Bat, you kind of have your hands free at the moment. So let's start with you.
So Bet is hoping that one of the transport cars has keys in the ignition. I don't know if that's realistic to think or not, or if he's gonna have to snatch it off somebody.
There's only one way to find out.
So he's going to, he's going to jump into one of the transports, hopefully kind of a cool looking, maybe personnel carrier type situation. And he wants to try to drive it.
So let's kind of do this. I think, how about assess the situation, like to spot?
Totally.
Does that feel okay to you? Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. And is straight up creeping and assess the situation is one or the other?
Yeah, either one. I'm good with either.
I'll do straight up creeping because he was
Yeah.
thinking about trying to grab something. Okay, so let me do that. All right, he's got a 7 and straight up creeping is mundane, so it's a 9.
As a 9. So it's just a modified version of what here is worth grabbing. And you can see that one of the transport trucks does have it, like somebody clearly got out of it to try and help deal with the situation. And it is doors open, and the little keys are in the ignition there. So you can leap over and get yourself into position there. Sound good?
Yep.
Black Hood.
Yeah, I really want to help blinders. I'm going to just jump in there and try to take out the people who have it.
So this is a question. Is your intent more to take them out, or are you more interested in trying to extricate blinders from them?
Get blinders out of that. Yeah.
So that feels more like defend to me. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So let's have you roll defend, and then we'll kind of describe what that looks like in the fiction there.
Yeah, I assume this isn't enough to clear my insecure, right? Take foolhardy action without talking to your team.
I think that's perfect because you know you were the person holding the two people that you rescued, and suddenly you let go of them and just leap over there, leaving them in the middle of the street, vulnerable to go and protect her or them.
Cool, but that helps a lot since insecure gives -2 to defend. So
Good.
now my chances are a lot better. So let's see, that's a 10.
That is a 10. So you're going to absolutely keep them safe, get them out of that situation without exposing yourself to danger, and you get to pick one from that list.
Ooh. I think I'll add, no, actually, I really want influence over blinders. I'll
Okay.
just take that.
Absolutely. You got grab them up. So what do we see happen? Like what are the comics panels when you go to do this?
Yeah, I think we see me like leaping over the fence. There was some sort of fence around it, I
Yep.
assume. I land there in the middle of them. I throw like a smoke bomb or something, and kick their legs out from under them, grab blinders and sort of pull them with me towards the fence. And I think at that point they're free enough so that they can use their powers a bit and confuse them even further.
Okay. You've got blinders up. They have clearly been hit with some kind of sedative, but they're kind of trying to shake that off. You move them over. Carmen, so you're in the middle of the street. You see your teammates go flying over the fence. You've still got these two prisoners. You do see that Bet is trying to secure a vehicle. What do you want? Because you've still got a significant threat with these Aegis folks out there in the courtyard, the tactical people, the same kind of people that you fought yesterday.
Yeah, so I think she will charge off after them,
Okay. And
which might clear insecure.
oh, that does feel because you're kind of doing this recklessly, but what are
Yeah.
you trying to do? Like, what is your intent?
I think her intent is to take out as many as she can.
So you rush forward to directly engage, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's have you roll with danger.
All right. And I'm going to use my punch everyone to shift danger up and to 2 and shift mundane down.
Okay.
So that's 2d6 plus 2. 5.
That is a 5. There is still 14 in the team pool. I hate reminding, but I'll just check in. Do you want to hang on to that team pool? Okay.
We should use it.
We should.
So how are you going to help Bet?
So just as a reminder, if we get a 7, it's a success. Like, right?
It
That's
is
what we're trying to do.
it is success, but it's not as great a success. Yeah.
Right. So you were so Carmen, you were trying to punch them all out.
Yeah, the attack teams and whatever that are.
The way that I was
Alright.
hoping to help would be to, if assuming I get this vehicle to actually drive, would be to fishtail a little bit to kind of do like a hip check, like
Okay.
on them with the vehicle.
And Black Hood, how are you helping?
Yeah, I think there's someone like pulling up some sort of weapon and trying to shoot at Carmen or aiming at Carmen, and I hit them with one of the little scythes, the throwing scythes. Hit the weapon, so knocking it away, so that she has free reign to lay waste to these people.
Perfect. So you will trade blows with them, and you get to pick one from directly engage a threat as you deal harm and knock a good chunk of this tack team down. There's still some that are up. What do you want to pick?
I'm gonna go with the last one, impress, surprise, or frighten. She's hoping to frighten them.
Okay. And are you doing collateral damage, or are you gonna not take that extra?
Is there collateral damage in the area to be done?
There are vehicles. There's
Okay.
there's at this point rubble from you smashing through the building.
Yeah, she's happy to
What?
use some vehicles to rip some doors off and swing them at them. And
Yeah, you smash Aegis vehicles, you trash the parking lot, you're swinging around. What do you want as your second pick then?
I resist or avoid their blows.
Okay, then you don't have to mark a condition because you're not taking any harm from them. They are knocked back. They're kind of for the moment like pulling back because this was a completely unexpected, and you are devastating that this back. They're calling tack team, clearly trying to get the heavy gear folks out here. Bet, what are you doing?
Yeah. So is it fair to say that this armored vehicle is gear, or is that a stretch?
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, that's one of your powers. Let's do that.
So what he's thinking about doing is creating an opening. Is it fair to say that there's no exit through because there's a chain link fence here? Is that right?
You could, I think at this point, Carmen has probably smashed the chain link fence down to the ground. I think that is a non-issue at this point.
Got it. And not to try to optimize game. I'm trying to understand the drives a little bit better.
Sure.
I had this drive which was outperform an adult hero. Now the question is, when I knock the yes man down, does that count as that?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
So that would have actually cleared the insecure.
Perfect.
So in that case, I'm going to use this to defend because I'm going to try to get everybody loaded into the vehicle, or as many people as I can.
Okay, let's see the roll, and we'll kind of figure out where we go from there.
So roll a 4 with my mundane, it's 2, so that's a 6.
That is a 6. You have 2 team left in the team pool.
Does somebody want to help load other people into the vehicle, perhaps?
Sure. Carmen can throw somebody into the vehicle.
Okay. So who are you throwing? Are you throwing Black Hood and blinders, or are you going and grabbing the 2 that are kind of out in the street with the power disabler cuffs?
Whoever's nearest. So probably Black Hood and blinders.
Kind of grab. So that is a 7 to 9. You get to pick one result from the list then. Bet.
Add a team to the pool.
Okay, yeah. A zero-sum game there, right? However, I think there is, as you're kind of spinning around and doing that, one of these Aegis people jumps up onto the side and essentially fires a stunner into the cab of this. So I want you to roll take a powerful blow.
All right, this is exciting. So take a powerful blow. I'm gonna roll. I got a 7, and then I got to see what my modifier is for that.
Yeah,
let's see. That is. Sorry, do you know off the top of your head if there's
how many conditions do you have marked?
Oh, that's what it is. I have 0 conditions.
Okay,
marked.
so it is 7 to 9. So you need to pick one of the options from the 7 to 9 of take a powerful blow there.
Got it. All righty. So choose one. Lash out verbally. Give ground. Struggle past the pain. Mark 2 conditions. Okay. Take advantage of your influence to inflict. Oh, I see. So I am going to. I think I'm going to mark 2 conditions.
Okay. Now could give me an opportunity to get Yes Man back on the scene. I that's smart play. What are you marking? Like what as this hits you and you're
I'm happy to get Yes Man back on the scene.
yeah.
Should we do that?
It's up to you. It's up to you. I also like the 2 conditions. You've got some people here who are potentially vulnerable.
Yeah, I really like the idea to get Yes Man back on the scene. Let's
Okay.
do that.
Then I think as you are backing up, kind of that take that hit and out of the ground of the parking lot, you see Yes Man comes out, and you've seen it, angry adults, and he definitely looks angry. And he looks around and he sees the vehicle and you hear that crackle of Kirby effect and energy as he starts moving towards it, that kind of lumbering. He is going to just break this vehicle. Black Hood, you've been thrown in the back of the vehicle with blinders. Carmen is still out there. As this vehicle's spinning around, you see that Yes Man has appeared. What do you want to do? You still got 2 vulnerable people out in the street.
Yeah. So Beth is driving, Carmen is still out there, right?
Yep.
I think since the vehicle is spinning, I think I want to like get to the back, and when it's spinning around, I want to leap out, like use the force of the spinning to get some extra speed to leap over the fence, back out into the street, get the people there, and try to get them to safety.
Okay. This is defend because we still got agents firing around in this area. We've got this moving vehicle. It's a tough maneuver here. But you get to roll savior.
Yeah, this is what I've set up to do. That's a 12.
Look at that. So tell me what that looks like on panel. What do we see happen?
Yeah, like I said, Black Hood gets up like in the back of the vehicle, and I think it like just when Beth spins it, it like hits something, and I use that force to leap, and I tumble as I land right next to Hammer and the Flash Mob, and I like grab them under the arms. We have to go now. Come on.
Yeah, and we see you rushing, kind of like you've got calculated where Bet has to come out, kind of moving them over towards that. Do you want to add a team to the pool? Do you want to take influence over them? Or do you want to clear a condition?
At this point, I'm going to add to the pool.
Okay, look at that. So that takes us up to 3 team to exhaust your resources. Carmen, Yes Man is there. Bet is getting the vehicle out of the parking lot. You can see Black Hood rushing to get these 2 in the back. What do you want to do?
She wants to grab a lamppost and try to hit Yes Man like a baseball.
Okay.
Knock him as far away from the direction we're heading.
Okay, so not your intention is not to do harm, but you're trying to change the situation. Let's have you roll freak.
All right. I think that's 0 currently. 11.
An 11. You're killing me. You're killing me. So Yes Man gets up. His attention is fully on Bet because he saw the kind of golden glow when he got kicked. So his attention is on that. And he looks up and he stands up and he gets his fist. And then there's that bang, that like bong sound. And he goes flying up. And he just goes over the next building. There's a kind of maybe a crash as he goes through an AC unit on the top. And he's just like a streak in the distance. and I think you all can rush to the vehicle, and Bet, you can drive out of here. So like the police chase is probably not the interesting question here. The interesting question is, where are you going? Like, you've stolen an Aegis armored vehicle. It's a very obvious thing. You've got these teen supers in the back. You need to get somewhere. Where are you going, Bet?
Yeah, Bet is looking for, he is looking for a kind of warehouse or fish market sort of situation where he can drive up some ramp and end up somewhere, you know, where he's in a long warehouse so everybody can unload as quickly as possible.
Okay. I do like the idea that you're like, oh, you head towards the essentially, it's pretty late right now. You're heading towards the docks area, and kind of, you know, drive and slide in on the morning deliveries here as they're coming out, and kind of rush in, and you park it back like in the back part of a warehouse, and just the smell of fish and meat and goods is kind of super permeating through the area. And you three have rescued 3 teen supers. And Black Hood, what does it take to get these cuffs off of them? Do you have to break them? Do you have to decode them? What do you think that looks like?
I think we just look to Carmen, and I mean, she's got the strength. She can do it.
So is it, do you tear them? Do you crush it? Like, how do you get them off of there, Carmen?
I think she'll crush them.
Okay.
To
Kind of break
and
the
pull.
main actuators, and then kind of pull them apart.
apart.
And the Flash Mob is like, oh God, thank you. They were gonna take us to some kind of facility. They're like under orders to round up like teen heroes. And I think they want to like recruit us. Like that's what they were saying. Like they were saying like we're going to join Aegis. We're going to become like, and I don't know.
Like brainwash you, or
I don't know.
and
I don't
then
know.
what?
And Flash Mob was like, I don't know. It was weird.
Where is this? Did you say they were going to take you somewhere else? Like
They said they were going to
training
take
camp?
us some kind of facility.
Are there others in there that we didn't save, or were you guys the only ones?
No, we were the only ones that were in there, but like they said that they were like they'd gotten some others. And Carmen, they say a name. What is the name of one of the facilities that made you?
I think it's Sunrise Labs.
They said they were going to take us to someplace called Sunrise something. They some sort of lab. That's what I heard. Apparently they're working with them, whoever they are.
Shit. That's one of the places that I came from. We need to go take this down.
Oh, snap.
So Flash Mob and the hammer will say, hang on, I'm gonna sneeze. Mute, please mute, bud. There we go. That was delightful. They say, like, we can help you, but like our powers are out for a while.
Yeah, maybe you should lay low and then try to find out if there are others that need help. And we'll go after this this facility. We'll go there right away.
And I think they are freaked out enough, even though they're like you, heroes, but they've been grabbed by the government. They've been strapped in. They've been rescued, and I think both of them are really freaked out. But Blinders is like, I'm going with you.
Ooh. What do we think? Would we want Blinders to come with us? I'm like looking at the others, trying to judge their thoughts.
Yeah, Bet says, awesome, and gives Blinders a high five.
And Blinders looks at you. Is that okay, Carmen?
Yeah, if you want to come fight them, anybody we can get will help.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that was a fluke. That was an absolute fluke. I like somebody came out of nowhere and knocked me out. So it's not my fault that I got grabbed there. You said to be careful, and I was being careful. So I can do this.
Maybe you're being too careful. It's okay. It's cool.
Oh yeah, I was being too careful.
Yeah.
And that's what got me in trouble.
Where is this place, Carmen? Damn, sorry. Where is it though?
Carmen, where is this? Where is the labs located at?
I think it's outside of town in some industrial park area.
Yeah, one of those. There's a set of office and industrial parks on the outskirts of the city that has a number of different corporate offices. You know, our typical LexCorp and Star Labs and all of those kinds of things, as well as this facility. So you have a chance to catch your breath here. Does anybody want to trigger anything, or call any NPCs, or anything like that before we kind of move forward?
Carmen is going to first check whether the other two have somewhere safe to go.
It's at, one of them says it's after hours, so we usually crash at the Y, but it's like we can't get in. We can just go like stay at like a 24-hour place overnight, and then we can go someplace.
Are you going to be fine? Because I might be able to have somebody help you if you need something.
There's that bit where they're kind of clearly reluctant because they don't want to ask for help, but they're still so shaken. And eventually, Hammer, who hasn't kind of said anything so far, she says, do you know a place we could go? Do you know someplace?
Yeah, let me just call somebody and see.
Okay.
And so she's going to call Jackie and see if.
Hey, it's getting kind of late.
Yeah, that's why I'm calling you.
All right, are you going to be home soon?
There's a thing I need to go do, but
It's almost 1 a.m. What do you need to do at 1 a.m?
I need to help some people out. But I have a couple
What?
friends who need some help, and you remember one of the labs that I came from?
You mentioned having been at a lab before you came to me.
Yeah, well, they're active again and trying to brainwash people or something. And so there's a couple people who
Wait,
were going to be sent there, and
she kind of pauses and she says, what are you talking about? Because you haven't exactly told her that you have powers and stuff. And so
No.
you see her kind of go, wait, what is going on?
I-
Is there something you want to tell me?
there's a lot I should tell you.
All right, send your friends over.
Yeah, I think they just need, at least for now, somewhere for the night safe. And I'll let you know when
I'll do
I've
this,
taken this care of.
but I have to have you promise me that you're going to tell me what's going on, everything, when this is all over.
Yes, I'll do that.
You promise?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay. Bet, you wanted to trigger your team move?
Yeah, so Bet, I just wanted to make sure I remembered, since Black Hood has influence over Bet,
Mm-hmm.
if I do a team move where Black Hood gets more influence over me, then Black Hood is able to shift 1 up and 1 down. Is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So Bet's going to go to Black Hood and say, that was really cool. I just you know, no offense, I tried to save you in the van and you jumped out. So I just want to make sure, like, is everything cool? Like, is it okay that I'm here? Like, am I doing an okay job? You're the leader. And I didn't really, I don't know. I thought we were just going to go together, but you left.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I couldn't leave Hammer and Flash Mob out in the street, right?
Oh, so it wasn't me. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
no. You did great. I mean, me and Carmen, we couldn't have done this on our own. And even with blinders helping us, I mean, without you there and taking down Yes Man like that was so awesome.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Sorry. I guess talking to my dad just kind of messed me up a little bit. Thanks, man.
No. I mean, we need you here. We can't do this without you.
So, Bet, you're going to mark potential. And Black Hood, how do you want to shift Bet's labels?
Yeah. Think I want to shift up superior maybe, and shift down mundane.
Does that work for you, Bet?
It does. It hamstrings me a little bit, but that's whatever.
Yeah,
you want to
sorry,
do.
but that's just how it seems.
No. Do it, man. Do it. So yeah, so I'm shifting down mundane and up superior or savior.
Yeah,
superior.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
You
Thanks.
see, because you knew what you were doing. I mean, you were the one who didn't screw anything up. Like, I mean, I don't mean that Carmen screwed anything up, but she did get knocked down by Yes Man, and I was just jumping around all over the place. But you were like on point.
And Bet, I assume you're ignoring the multiple texts from your dad attacking an Aegis facility. What is going on? Answer me, that kind of thing.
Well, he is trying to figure out what. Yeah. So I'm just like, Did we get any sleep? Are we
Yeah,
gonna do
yeah.
this? Are we gonna do this now? Maybe, look, if I go home, I don't know if he's gonna let me leave. Can I crash with one of you guys if we're gonna sleep? Sorry.
I mean, we could crash at the lair if we think
Oh yeah,
it's
of
safe
course.
there.
You have a layer?
I think the couch is a pull-out.
Like a secret base? Said Blinders?
I mean, it's just a couple of storage units that are not through, but it should be safe for now.
So do you think you want to catch a couple of hours? Like and like move early morning, or Carmen, or like what are you pushing for?
I think as the adrenaline has faded, she's a bit tired. And so at least catching a couple hours and going in the pre-dawn sounds good.
Okay. So Black Hood, you return back to the base. The three people crash out. Blinders is more impressed than they ought to be with this kind of thing. They're checking everything out. They're looking at the computer and stuff and so on. And what are you doing? Is there anything you want to trigger here before we move the scene forward?
Yeah, I want to try this been reading the files move. Because it seems like these Sunrise Labs could be a superhuman thing,
Perfect.
an important super powered phenomenon, as it says in the move.
Absolutely. Let's have you roll superior.
Yeah, that's flat. I think this starts out as being kind of showing blinders, all the things that's on the computer, and then I start digging into this as they get distracted by something else, probably. So that's a 6.
That is a 6. So I think that you will pull up and you can see that this is actually an active file for your mentor. And that he's clearly been looking into this. And he has some surveillance pictures. And you will see that he clearly identified a couple of what he is called essentially genetically crafted weapons. And has pictures of a couple of young women. They don't look like Carmen. They're not twins or anything like that, but they definitely have that same build and physique. And I think you realize that there are a couple other people like Carmen there. But I also think you'll notice there's a little like flashy alert on the files when you check it, and you'll look, and who's the is it an AI? Is it an Alfred like figure? Like who's the third person in this ratio of you and your mentor? Is it the former protege, the person who was there before you?
Ooh. Yeah, I think we said that they had moved on to like graduated to become
Yeah.
a full-on hero, but I think they still work with Reaper from time to time. So that makes sense.
What's his name?
Oh, let's see. Someone said Gravedigger before. I
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
That's
And he doesn't do the gravelly voice at all. He's like, Black Hood, I've been trying to get a hold of you but you're not answering the usual channels. Uh, he's gone off. I've lost contact with him. He was supposed to be investigating a site in Halcyon City, and I've been trying to get a hold of the Reaper, but he's not answering. I know you're in the middle of some other stuff. I've been seeing it on the news, but there's something called Sunrise Labs. You have to go and check it out. It'll be hours before I can get to Halcyon City.
Yeah, that's where we're going. We're just crashing for a couple of hours to catch our breath after the thing.
You need to get moving now.
Oh, are you sure? Do you think he's in danger? Or do you think he's?
I've lost communication with him.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I'll get the others and we'll get there as fast as we can.
Carmen, you do have a little bit of downtime here back at the base. Is there anything you want to do? I don't know if there's a team move you want to trigger or something like that.
Let's see, what do we have? Maybe the share a vulnerability or weakness with someone that I think.
What do we see?
I think we see her go to Bet, I guess, and she's unsettled by having this part of her past come back up. And so she's going to share with him maybe a bit of the details about how she was raised that she hadn't said before, being a young child in this lab.
And Bet, does Carmen have influence over you already?
Yeah.
So you can shift Carmen's labels. Like, how do you respond when Carmen kind of tells you this very deep secret about themselves?
I can shift her labels if she has influence over me.
Well, you have influence over her, right?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, then you gain influence over her.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
But how do you react?
Yeah, he feels really he really wants to support her and isn't that mature. And so what he does is he's in the middle of eating. He actually bought these for her. He had some for her. He was going to try to celebrate. He gives her these yellow Hostess cupcakes. Says, when I don't know what to make of my thoughts, I meditate on these. And he's just very awkwardly, slowly handing her these cupcakes. Like he had this whole idea to celebrate with her, and now he's. So I think hopefully she realizes that he's trying to listen without actually like providing solutions, and it's his way of trying to support her.
So you get to hold 2 to spend on Bet. Cupcakes? What do you think, Carmen?
Yeah, she'll take them as the gesture of camaraderie that it is. And she'll sit there eating with him.
If he could say something, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Myri. Can I interrupt for a second?
Sure.
He's gonna then realize after she takes them from him, like he's all of a sudden his thoughts went back to where they were. Like his head cleared, and he said, "That sounds awful. We're gonna get these guys. You just point me in the right direction. What do you want me to do?"
Thanks. It's good to have people I can count on now.
All right, that's a great end line for this bit. Let's take 5, and we're going to come back right at the labs, like outside, figuring about what we're going to set up there. So take 5, and we'll be back. So we're in the outskirts of Halcyon City. We're in this industrial park, probably the sounds of the highways off in the distance. And we see this lab facility. It's got, the weird sphere up on top with some sort of fuel storage things. It's got some trucks outside, weird antennas, like multiple annexes, and essentially black clad guards with weapons outside. And the 4 of you are kind of looking at this. Probably our first shot is through Black Hood's binoculars. We get the shot of that. So, Carmen, how do you feel coming back to one of these places?
She's unsettled by revisiting her past. It brings back a lot of bad memories for her.
And how is it that you got away? Did you break out of a facility? Did you sneak away? Like, how did you actually escape their clutches?
I think on some training exercise outside the facility, she was able to run off.
So, these places are secure. You weren't able to break out on your own. You had to be outside the building. Black Hood, what's the thing you see that definitely tells you that the Reaper has been here?
I think there are. I think, should it be something obvious, or is it something that just mean?
It's up to you. Yeah. We'll kind of, what do we see in panel? We can even get the sort of the thought bubble over.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of these black clad guys are carrying someone on a stretcher, and he's got like his uniform has been sliced open, and he's probably cut inside, probably not dead, but he's badly injured, and I recognize that that's his that's the sort of wounds that he makes when he
Yeah. The guards and minions have definitely taken a beating, and they are cleaning up after that. Black Hood, do you want to recap what you found out on that call, or should I?
Please go ahead.
So one, that there are a couple of other persons, presumably with similar power sets to Carmen, and 2, that the Reaper was investigating this and has likely been captured while on site here, which Black Hood can confirm. So, Bet, tell me, you have your extraordinary senses. How are those shown on, like how does the artist draw that? Is it a Daredevil style thing? Is it something else? Is it color? Like what do we see in the panel to show that you can extend your senses in an unusual way?
Yeah. Yeah, in the panel, Bet turns his head slowly to scan as if he's using hearing, like as if he's doing kind of an echolocation. And in the panel, you see a blur where his head was, as if you now see like 180 degrees fading of his head.
Nice. So shall we have you roll straight up creeping?
Yeah, let's do it. Modifier 1. So that's a 9 total, 8 plus 1 mundane.
Okay. So what is your question?
So I think one thought I have is, anybody able to use, are we able to use team on this kind of roll?
Usually it's when you actually go into directly engage, but
Totally.
you do still have 3 team in the team pool from the previous thing that hangs around. So someone would have to tell me though how they assist you in reading the sedge.
I guess I'm just calling out, since I was looking through the binoculars. I call out like, yeah, there's guards down there. They're carrying someone, and that draws your attention to that part of it. Does that work?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, then I get a 10. I can ask 2.
2 questions.
The first thing I wanted to ask was, what's my best way in and out?
So they are moving those guards and minions kind of like to back inside to medical treatment or whatnot. And there are a lot of people there. And if you could grab uniforms, you might be able to sneak in with the crowd. And you're kind of excited because you wanted to do that before, but now it actually might work. And then what's your second question?
So the second question is, it's going to be, what here is worth grabbing in terms of gear?
I think you will see that like a couple of the guards that have been knocked out, they've like taken their equipment belts off of them. And you can see like the glint, like they have clearly some maybe stun grenades or those kinds of specialty grenades on them, and perhaps you could snatch a few of those.
Awesome. So yeah, Bet tells everybody, suit up. The doctor's in, and points to all of their the medical outfits.
So I think that the next panel is maybe somebody doing the gesture to somebody, and somebody waters back, and then there's the sound of thuds, and then all of you awkwardly in these medical outfits. Probably fits very tightly on you, Carmen. Black Hood, you have to kind of take your mask off to do this. So Bet, you have this armor. Like, does it summon up? Do you put it away? How do you like not look like a big glowing armored guy in a medical thing?
Yeah, it yeah, he pushes a button and it shrinks down to something that he can put in his back pocket. Looks like a Nintendo Switch size.
Absolutely.
Is he able to grab? I'm sorry to interrupt your lull. Is he
Sure.
able to grab a grenade now, or is that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
later
That
in the
seems like
action?
a fair thing.
Right.
Blinders has to like get a hat and some gloves, because that's not makeup on them. So they kind of keep that low and kind of trying to hide that away. And the 4 of you can make your way in. So let me ask, this is kind of a meta question to the table. What is your goal? Are you trying to find the key baddies behind this? Are you trying to like sabotage the facilities? Like what do you think your goal is when the four of you go in? Black Hood, you're the leader, so I want to start with you.
Thing, because she knows that that Reaper, he would try to like sabotage them or do something like that. But I think she wants to expose them, like get evidence on what they're doing and get that out into the world, because that's going to help more, I think, for sheeping.
And Carmen, what is your agenda going into this place?
She wants to find the people at the top and try to make sure they can't keep doing this.
Okay. And Bet, what about you? Are you just along for the ride, or do you have a sense of why you are here?
Yeah, Bet wants to find the people at the top. He thinks that there's one person, and get vengeance, basically to redeem Carmen or try to give Carmen some peace.
So I think there are some mixed goals here as you are moving along through this place. Let us see what the best way to do this. We've already kind of established this in. You're going in. So, Carmen, the others kind of are scanning the place to kind of get a sense of where to go. Big thing. And I think you come to a point where you can see we go this way. It'll probably take us up to, where the operations center is, probably where these other ones like you are. If we go this way, that's probably where the files and computer records are and that kind of thing. And the others are looking to you to tell them which direction.
She's going to go for the others like her.
Okay. So you kind of say, we're going to go this way. Okay. I believe that you have some super stealth, Black Hood, right?
Yeah.
So I would like you to roll to use your powers to get in everybody undetected.
Cool. So that's free, right?
That is freak, yeah. Team pool. Actually, let's. So we are now confronting a threat. So we've got 3 in the team pool. We add another 2 is 5. And then
I have influence over everyone.
So 6 doesn't have the same purpose, so it's still a 6. So I think we're at 6 team in the team pool.
Yeah, but I rolled an 11, so I don't need no team pool.
What are you doing to me here? Like on in the comics panel, how do we know that you are just the most stealthy, awesome, secret person here?
I think we see all 3 of us like walking in these like our disguises as medical personnel, and we pass some guards and just like wave at them, and then there's a panel where we like just pull off our disguises, and then we duck into a side corridor, and I'm like waving the others along and then sneaking in behind them. There's just this little smoke puff as I scoot after them.
Perfect. And I think we'll see you come into one of these big super science rooms, chambers with multiple consoles and flashing lights. And we've got walkways up and around. goes up higher. There's other kinds of mechanical gear suspended. There are multiple of these tubes with a greenish pink mixed liquids that have some bodies in them. And you'll see kind of towards the center is a table where you see this person strapped down. They've been stripped of their gear. They're locked down, but of course they still have their mask on. And you will recognize Reaper's mask, but he has been rendered at least ineffectual for the moment. And you will see a couple of women about Carmen's age, slightly different skin and hair, clearly not biologically related, but again, they both have that stance, but they are in a uniform that Carmen will recognize. What's the primary color of this villainous uniform they put people in?
I think it's black.
Okay, just a kind of a deep black uniform there. And you will see there is another figure also in black who seems to be in command here, but he has kind of a weird, bulky mask on. And you've probably in the past seen him occasionally, Carmen. Like, you remember he was some kind of supreme leaderish type who's there. And he seems to be, wringing his hands in maniacal joy as he has captured the Reaper. And he's saying, "Ah, Reaper, I don't know how you found us, but I am so glad that you arrived. And soon we will be recruiting a new order of super soldiers. We had problems with the first batch starting from just ground zero. But now, this time, we will take existing heroes and we will change them. And they will be our tools. And here's the best part. Aegis has given us a contract to do this. Your own government working against you. How does that feel?" So, Carmen, I think it's like this is your place. You see this, you're getting angrier probably.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I think she came in here hoping to try to persuade the others to join her side, but right now she just wants to punch that guy.
And so what do we see you do?
We see her pick up the nearest heavy thing and bring it down on his head.
Okay, kind of leap down and try to bring it down on him. The two of you will see suddenly Carmen just grabs up what, like, is it a table or like a super machine? What do you grab?
Yeah, it's one of the tables that they would have other patients on if they have more. And just
wrench that up, steel table, leap across, and let's have you roll directly engage.
all right, that is plus danger. Let's.
And you can, if you want to shift your labels, you can do it again.
Yeah, I think she will. Shift danger up. And I'm gonna go with mundane down.
Oh, yeah.
Being here, she's not feeling normal.
Let's have you roll.
12.
Oh, yeah. So there's that crash as you bring it down. Pick two.
All right. Just gonna go with create an opportunity for your allies and frighten the opposition.
Okay. So I think that you'll knock him down, smashes like hits him. There's kind of a black crackle of energy around him as you do that. And the scientists and the like other techs who are around here and the security guards are like this happened suddenly, and everyone's kind of gasping, our attention fully focused on you. But when he hits, he kind of rolls. That blow clearly hit him strong, but you will see him kind of lift his hand, and he throws this black spear of energy at you, and it literally looks like a spear, and it pierces you, and you are going to mark a condition there to kind of start off this fight. And bet your ears are ringing right now, like something's wrong here. What do you do? See, Carmen has started this out.
Bet is going to he's going to take off, he's going to slap the armor on himself, and he's going to step in between Carmen and this mask, and this masked supervillain, and say, you're going too far. It's one thing to build super soldiers, it's another thing to take innocent people and manipulate them. What's wrong with you? He's like, so, and I mean, he's trying to influence him by talking to him, as naive as it is.
I think that while he is not susceptible to your words, there are some people in here that you might make hesitate. So let's have you roll that provoke.
And is it possible to do a pierce the mask, or is that?
Do you want to do, which one do you want to do? Which one do you want to resolve first? Because I want to kind of give everybody a chance to do moves here.
Yeah. I wanted to pierce the mask. That was the
okay.
But I also, if it doesn't fit, then I don't want to force it.
Yeah. Well, which one do you want to resolve here before I go back onto like Black Hood? Would you want to resolve the provoke, or do you want to resolve the pierce the mask first?
Okay, so you saw what I was doing is provoke. Then let's do provoke.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good either way here. But so let's have you roll that provoke.
Okay, here we go.
What is your superior?
My superior is 2.
Oh, look at that, because somebody shifted your labels.
There we go. I got a 10 if you include the 2.
Okay, perfect. So I think that the two who are like Carmen, like they take a step back. They don't engage right away. Like this round, they're kind of they're whole like looking around, like they're uncertain about what this is that's happening here. They've never heard that there's another person like them. You're saying this. They're clearly like a little bit shaken, and this masked figure says, "I see that she has chosen her new avatar. Do you really know how to use that armor, child?" And he'll kind of stand up, and you'll see this black armor start to form on him. Black Hood, what do you do?
Well, since there's this big confrontation going on that everyone's so distracted by, I'm going to sneak down to try to free Reaper.
That is a defend move, I believe.
Okay. Good for me then.
Yeah.
I did not know that, but I'll take it. That's a 9.
I think the others are a little occupied right now, but you could use Team Pool selfishly.
Ooh, what's on it? 79 it costs to. Yeah, I think I will.
Okay. So when you use your team pool selfishly, you shift the label up that you're using by one, and you shift another label down.
I don't think I can shift it up. It's at 3.
Oh, and actually, yeah, then you can't use team selfishly.
Oh, I can't do it. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
Uh,
I will expose myself to danger, right?
Yeah. I think that what you go up there, snap these cuffs off, and I think that your like moving into frame does give one of these two like a target that they don't have to engage with that fight, and one of them grabs you even as you freed Reaper and throws you at one of these vats, and you'll shatter into that. Let's have you take a powerful blow.
Yeah, cool. So that's with conditions, right?
Yeah,
And I'm currently angry, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. That's a 5.
That's a 5.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
5.
So mark potential. And yeah, you land on your feet. This figure, she throws you across. You land on your feet. You can see that Reaper has been freed. He rolls off. He's clearly just trying to get out of the way and get himself back together. Maybe he's been drugged. You're not sure. But you also get to pick, do you want to add a team to the team pool? Do you want to take influence over Reaper? Or do you want to clear a condition?
I think I want to take influence over Reaper.
Okay, you can mark. Yeah, mark that down. Carmen. That's sort of crashing down. The lab is being shattered. This figure has stood up. Bet has landed in front of you to kind of aid you. You see that his speech has at least kept one of these two is starting to step backwards, like walk back, like maybe she might take off. But the other one engaged with Black Hood. What do you want to do?
She's gonna, there's like one other girl like her here.
Yeah, let's say Carmen doppelgangers for the moment, right. There's one of the Carmen doppelgangers has moved back away, but hesitating, but the other one is clearly like, okay, the Black Hood, this other person, that's somebody I can fight.
All right, she's gonna address the one who's hesitating, but loud enough the other one can hear her, but she doesn't think there's much hope there. She's gonna say, I know what you've been through. I came from this lab before, but you have other options. You can leave now while you have a chance. You can have a life that you want, not what they've made for us.
Let's have you roll provoke.
All right, that is plus superior. So that's 1, 4.
That is a 4. No amount of team will help. And I think that the one is still kind of stepping back, but she's kind of hesitating. But the other one who threw Black Hood kind of looks at you, and you hear this masked figure says, "Operation Prometheus." And you will see this Carmen doppelganger, the one that you're kind of trying to dress, just start to get bigger, larger. You'll see like the intelligence dim in her eyes, and she starts to go feral. You see that the kind of claws come out, and the figure in black says, "We've learned some things since you walked out. You do get to mark potential though. And this figure will rush up to engage and kind of lock up. So this huge bulked up hulked version of you is going to engage in a match of with strength with you. Bet, what are you doing?
Now, is the one that just hulked up, was that the one that was back on its heels, or the one that was
That's the
fighting
one that
Black
threw
Hood?
Black Hood.
Okay.
She hulks up and rushes at Carmen to engage in a grappling match. The other one is still off, kind of off stage, hesitating. And then there's this guy in front of you.
Yeah. So the hulked up one is rushing at Carmen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. I'm gonna bet it's gonna say was do we know this guy's name yet?
No, you don't.
Okay, so this masked figure, when they said, "Do you know how to use that armor child?" Were they talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna say, "Well, let's see if I know how to use this armor," and he's going to run. He's going to step between Carmen and the hulked one and shoot her in the try to shoot the Hulk in the foot.
Okay. So let's have you directly engage.
So it's danger. Okay. 10.
Look at that, a 10. What's your pick two?
All right, my pick two, directly engage. Do they have anything I can take?
Another balance.
I want to create an opportunity for allies, and and then resist or avoid blows.
Okay. So you smack into them with this hits. They kind of grab on, fall backwards, fall on their back. And when they start to get up, they like grab onto one of the support pillars in the room and they just wrench it out. There's just a ripping sound as they grab this girder, tear it out, and start to bring themselves up here. And you don't get touched at all. Black Hood, what are you doing? Your mentor is safe. He's kind of, gotten himself out the safety. There's a hesitating villain. There's this black mask guy who clearly has some armor that is a little bit like Bet's. And there's this hulked up version of Carmen.
This hulked up person, was that the one that Bet like distracted and created an opening?
Shot in the foot. She falls backwards. She tears that girder out of the floor.
Yeah. I think she's a bit off balance.
Yeah.
So I like bounce around to the side and pick up something from the or I pull something out of my belt, one of the mini sides, and I throw it right at her elbow, so she loses her grip on the girder and it falls down on top of her.
Let's have you roll directly engage.
That's danger, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not good. But see, that's a 6. So if I can get some help.
Carmen, how are you helping? I think you're the next likely person.
Yeah, so the Hulk doppelganger is off balance, right?
Yep.
A bit. Yeah, so she's gonna try to grab something to throw at her to just further push her off balance.
Yeah.
And
What do you whip that to help Black Hood with this?
Some of the, I guess she's gonna use some of the cabling that's nearby to try to Whip her off.
grab it and kind of, whip that across, smashes in. So that's a 7 to 9. So Black Hood, what do you want? You're going to do harm. What's your pick there from the list?
I am going to. I want to impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. I'll take the hit, but they need to be scared of us right now.
So you will do that, and she kind of gets knocked by that cable. But you know how Carmen can dish out collateral damage. She just grabs a section of the floor, flings it at you. Let's have you take a powerful blow.
Yep. I still have the one condition. And now it's an 8.
Okay.
That's worse.
So pick one from that 7 to 9 list under take a powerful blow.
Yeah. Ooh. I think I have to give ground. That's what makes sense to me.
Okay. And I think that this maneuver, you see that figure in the black armor go, interesting, impressive. And then he whooshes across the battlefield to grab onto the Reaper. Let's see how good you are without your mentor anymore. Kind of grabs onto him and starts kind of doing that pull up like he's going to snap his neck or something. Carmen, what do you do?
She's going to try to defend the Reaper. She's going to jump over there and try to knock the other guy out of the way. Or
Perfect. Let's have you roll savior.
all right, that is 1, 6.
That is a 6. Someone want to help? Who's taking that up?
Yeah, I think it probably makes sense for Bet to shoot an arrow at him from range.
Fire that off, kind of bounces off his armor and pulls him back. And then Carmen, you can grab and get the Reaper out of his grip. You are going to expose yourself to danger. Do you want to add a team to the pool, take influence over the Reaper, or clear a condition before I deal out the hard move or the cost here?
I'm going to clear angry.
Okay. I think that when you pull Reaper out, and then suddenly this guy is by you, and that spear comes out again, and he will jab you with the spear. Mark a condition, your choice.
I'm gonna go with afraid. This is worse than she was expecting.
Yeah,
and
kind of drives that in there, and is because if you won't join us in return, then you will have to be destroyed. Bet, let's come back to you. You fired this arrow off, distracted. The Reaper has been saved, but this guy is up, striking Carmen.
Bet is going to look over at the doppelganger who is hesitating,
Mm-hmm.
and say, we need all the help we can get here. What's it going to take? It's like looking in a mirror over there. She's here to help you. Can't you do the same? And he's trying to pierce the mask, if that's not too forced.
So pierce the mask would be asking questions. Provoke would be trying to get them to do something.
Oh, got it. So provoke could mean to try to get them to actually fight against their
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're trying to
Yeah,
provoke them
so I'm
to that.
doing that. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
doing that.
yeah,
I
okay.
thought I had to, got it. Yeah,
So let's have you roll superior.
right. I got an 8,
Okay.
and
Uh,
for what it's worth, Carmen still has 2 hold over me anytime we want to use that.
oh,
That she can use as team pool.
Yeah.
do you want to spend one of those to take it to a 9, and then do you want to spend regular team pool, Carmen?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
How are you like helping this persuasion here? What do we see on panel that might convince this doppelganger to help?
We see Carmen, wow, she's been stabbed. She got stabbed by the spear, right?
Yeah.
Look over at the doppelganger and say, these are the people who made you. They don't care about us.
And you'll see, it's look, the eyes will lock. She's hearing what Bet has said, and you will see her leap over, and she kind of grabs on to him and kind of pulls him back, even as he's like a cat crackling with black fire. And you can tell it hurts her to hold him, but she gets a hold of him and she pulls him off of you, and she's trying to struggle with him right now. Black Hood, you still got this hulked out doppelganger who is focused on you.
Yeah, ooh. So Carmen is grabbing the guy who's grabbing Reaper.
So what we see across the way, you see Carmen was stabbed by the man in black. But then the other non-hulked doppelganger went and grabbed him and pulled
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got confused.
him off.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
absolutely. And she has a hold of him right now.
Yeah. Then I realized that she's too strong for me to try to break Reaper free, but the other one who's after me isn't. So I'm going to try to do the thing where I try to fake her out so that she leaps at me, but I jump aside and she leaps at the one who's holding Reaper.
Reaper is free.
Oh, Reaper is free.
Yeah,
Oh,
Reaper is
sorry.
free. So Carmen got Reaper free, but the man in black then struck her. The person who's being held is the man in black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I wasn't
Yeah.
clear on that at all.
No, that was me getting confused. Yeah, I think I'll try to, but she's all hulked out. She doesn't seem. Yeah, I think. Oh, sorry.
Absolutely.
I think I'll just try to keep her busy, keep her away from the others.
So does it feel like provoke, kind of trying to drag them
Yeah.
that way? Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
that sounds good.
Let's have you roll superior.
That's superior, that's flat, and that's a 5.
That is a 5. I think the others are occupied right now.
Yeah.
So I do think you're with that cat and mouse, kind of leaping ahead, sort of Spider-Man away from the big. And there's just that moment when you make that one leap, and it's just kind of not far enough. And she swings at you, and you see Blinders leaps in the way. And she smacks Blinders, and Blinders goes flying across the room and crashes into the rubble. It was a hard smack. The good news is you get to mark potential.
Yeah.
Carmen, what are you doing?
She's gonna fight the man in black.
Okay.
Does she recognize him, or is his face obscured?
His face is still obscured.
All right.
And just letting
Then-
loose on him.
No, actually, she's gonna try to pry off his helmet or whatever's obscuring his face.
Oh, okay. And it still feels like directly engaged to me.
Yeah.
So let's have you roll, because you might take that away.
All right, so that is 2d plus 3. 10.
That is a 10. So pick two.
All right. I'm gonna go with take something from them
Okay. Get the
And-
mask off.
and impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
And I think it says that strike, he's trying to concentrate to break out, and then you're in there, hit him, pull this mask off, and like I think that you have in the past imagined, based on looking at yourself, imagined what your father might look like. And I think this is the moment when you see that face that you've imagined with this black crown that's like in a different shape. It looks like Bet's crown, but differently formed. And yeah, this is the man from whom the genetic material to create you was drawn. He is in bad shape, but I am going to have you take a powerful blow.
All right. So I roll plus conditions.
Yes.
1. 6.
You keep yourself absolutely together. You get to mark potential, and like you see this, like, what is the expression? I mean, are you angry? Are you sad? Are you like determined? What do we see?
I think she's determined. Even like, I think part of her was expecting to find something horrible like this.
Mhm.
And
yeah.
now she knows this is the guy at the top that she needs to take out.
Absolutely. And he is woozy from the blows. Bet, what do you do?
If it's okay with you, Myri, as part of this, Bet's going to grab his stun grenade, shove it into the helmet, like pull out of Carmen's hand and say, "Do you know how to wear this armor?" And like jam it back on his head.
Go for it.
Let's have you roll directly engage.
So I can't use no powers, not, can I use no powers, not nearly enough training the
Yeah.
first time I use it? Oh yeah, that is what it's for.
Yeah.
Well, that's for engage a threat. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So here we go. It's a mundane, so it's a 1.
Oh
And-
yeah. There's this whoosh as that goes off in the helmet as it catches him, and that armor, as you've had when you've got knocked out, it does that kind of shatters and fades, and he drops to the ground. And I think you will see that hulked out figure like immediately kind of stagger and deflate. And once he kind of gets to normal human size, kind of passes out.
if it's okay,
yeah.
I'd like to count that as a drive. Reject someone who tells you you shouldn't be here.
Perfect. So we're going to go to the epilogues, the sort of the aftermath, the immediate aftermath, or a little ways down the line. Do we want me to start with you, Black Hood, or do you want me to wait?
Give me a moment.
Okay.
I have an idea, but I need to think later.
Bet, what about you? What is going to be your epilogue in the aftermath of that? Is it something with this battle side? Is it something with the fairies, something with your family? What do you think it is?
Yeah, I think it's going to be something with the family. He's back at school. He's missed a couple days. There's a montage of his dad almost yelling at him, maybe yelling at him. Bet's looking more and more, reticent, and he's sitting in school, and in the margins of of the notebook, he's drawing pictures of Black Hood and Carmen and Guppy, and I think it's pretty mundane and straightforward as that.
Yeah, that he's kind of looking at his life a little bit differently maybe than he was before, right?
Yeah, he's feeling a little bit. He's feeling a little bit like he got himself into a lot more danger than he realized, but he's missing it. So he's taking a break for a minute. I mean, and then there'll be something, something flashes past the window, and he kind of unconsciously starts thumbing his armor that's still in his pocket.
Nice.
And one of the kids looks over at him and is like, "Whoa, you got the new Switch?" Something like that.
Nice. Carmen, what is going to be your epilogue?
So I think we see a montage of her talking to Jackie, explaining things, Jackie looking concerned and comforting, and a series of similar things. And then maybe Carmen and Jackie, and whether it's the other doppelganger or one of Black Hood and Bet eating pizza at Jackie's place together.
Just very mundane. Maybe even we see the sort of civilian flash mob and the hammer in the background, kind of like a little family there. I like that. And Black Hood, what about for you?
Yeah, I'm going to play off of this influence I have over Reaper now. So we see Black Hood and Reaper and Gravedigger like up on a rooftop, and they're looking out over something. We see them, we don't see what they're looking at. And they're working together like they sometimes do. Gravedigger is about to do something, and Reaper kind of puts his hand on his chest and pulls him back a little bit. And he says, Black Hood, why don't you take point on this one?
Nice. Very nice. And that is our series. That is our two shot of masks. Thank you all very much. As I usually do when we do end of this, I just kind of do a round of stars of things that you liked of other people's play, things that you enjoyed about the system or about other characters, things like that. Chris, let me start with you.
Yeah, I think Lowell, you hooked into a few things that we brought up. One of them being Bet's armor, and you just tying everything back into Carmen's background. It just felt like there were things that we brought up that you were able to tie in, which made it more fun and tangible. Anders and Myri, it was just really fun playing with you guys. It's always hard being the first one to come up with the stars off the top of my head, but no, not at all. I felt like we were able to, have a couple more kind of team moves, which was really fun. Yeah, that's all I've got.
I'll actually do mine. It's really good characters. I loved the material they gave me to work with. I enjoyed the character interactions we were able to get. Masks, like the two shots are fun to kind of try out the system, but it is one of those places where you don't get as much chance to do the interaction, but we got a little bit of that at the start. So I really enjoyed what everybody brought to the table, and the reaction to the authority figures, which is always fun to see. So I enjoyed that. Myri.
Yeah, I liked the finale that drew in bits for every character, and that being a good, satisfying end. And I like the characters. I like Bet feeling like a young teen who really felt like earnest and insecure. And I liked Black Hood's little death-themed bat family. And yeah, and the little downtime moments we got for the characters interacting.
Awesome. Yeah, it was all good stuff. Anders, I'm going to give you last word.
Yeah, loved the game. Loved everyone's characters. It's clear that you know masks really well. You run it super well. It was really great. Loved the thing with Beth and the stun grenade in the helmet was really fun.
That is great detail, yeah.
Carmen just leaping in there and confronting this bad guy and just going for it. Absolutely the interactions and having these other teen heroes with blinders, that was really fun. Like like having someone who was even worse at this than we
Yes.
were. That was super fun. So yeah, love the whole thing.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. I'm going to stop the recording.